Questions for Director Reyes? Vice Chairman?
Yes, I see a few change orders here. I guess my question is there something wrong with our process that we, that they're, that these people are giving us a number, and then at some point in time, these numbers need to be changed? What's going on?
Freeholder, to let you know, is the change orders that are before you are literally driven by us. We have asked them, the professionals, to look into expanding some of these projects. And we're looking to expand some of these projects because we'd like to literally increase and expand on our assets. We'd literally like to improve and make them literally have more of an asset for the county. For example, we would like to have certain facilities be able to be used year-round. And once we first did the initial RFP, looked into it, and then realized that we can literally do more at the facility, increase revenue through changes that are proposed before you. So these are all driven, I can assure you, by us wanting to improve these facilities and increase.
So the change orders are a result of changes that we've asked.
That we've asked, absolutely.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
100%.
Thank you.
Freeholder Granados.
Director Reyes, I know you're kind of general in your response right now, but kind of leads into number 4. What exactly are some of the improvements that are going to be taking place at the Watertown Stables lighting project? Also in reference to number 6, what are some of the improvements that are going to be taking place for the intersection? And number 7, what are some of the new additional architecture and engineering services for Warren Eagle Park?
Sure. Let me start with Watertown Stables. The $93,000 change order is going to do a few things. One of the main things it's going to do is add a design of an indoor fabric facility ring to expand the programs that are offered there year-round. So there are 4 rings, and one of the rings we want to, in essence, bubble to be able to literally have programs there throughout the year. We've estimated roughly, if we do the enclosed facility and expand programs year-round, we could see somewhere in the neighborhood of over $200,000 in additional revenue just for that facility, for the bubbling of the one of the rings. And of course, that also change order also includes improvement to the fencing, which has been problematic in recent times, and also drainage. As you know, the stable is located on the side of a mountain, so drainage is very important for the facility. So that's the stables. Number 6, for the intersections that you see before you in Union, they include new traffic lighting and obviously pedestrian crossing lights in those 4 intersections that you see before you. Number 7 is there's 6 different components to that change order of $274,000. The first one is the design and construction inspection of the new ice floor. The ice floor that's currently there now, when we began to do improvements, we found out that there's leakage. It's a 50-year-old facility. The pipes are 50 years old. The board has been kind enough to approve a new chiller, and with that investment, we felt that it was necessary to invest in the infrastructure for the ice. It doesn't make any sense to put a brand new chiller and keep the whole piping. It also will fix the concrete slab flooring that the ice goes on top. The second part of that is the design of the chiller building exterior, which houses the new chiller. We don't want it obviously out in the element. Number 3, as directed by the board, we'd like to make the new clubhouse LEED certified. Number 4, if you've ever been to the facility, as I have, watching my son play ice hockey, it literally sometimes rains inside the facility because of the condensation problem. So a part of this change order is to investigate why that happened and how to correct it. Number 5, the asbestos abatement monitoring. Number 6, the upgrade design of the rink booths, windows, and exterior are all part of that change order. And
Thank you, Chairman.
Freeholder Estrada.
Thank you very much. Mr. Reyes, the issue that I have in terms of some of these change orders are very simply that in terms of the quantities, in some cases, even 100% of the amount. So did anybody consider the possibility of going out to, I know this is a professional services contract, and the laws are a little differently how they are applied. In essence, they're going, instead of going for another RFQ or request for proposal in terms of the scope of the project?
The problem with that is that when we've gone out with some of the proposals, and the RFPs haven't responded, let's just take the watch on reservation, the watch on stable. We went out to an RFP, we had proposals submitted, we chose someone, and during the time that they were doing their job under that current RFP, we decided to do more improvements. If we were to go out to RFP process again, we could find ourselves with a different engineer group. And then we'd have two engineering groups on the one project, one finishing off the current one, and then one assigned to the new job.
Yeah.
That becomes problematic for us, having to deal with two engineers that actually at the end of the day may have two opposing views to a project that we're trying to continue seamlessly. So that's the one problem with it.
That could be one of the problems, but it could also be the fact is that when somebody's looking at a project, and they're looking at the overall project, and we're piecemealing it, and that may not necessarily be the best thing to do either.
I agree with you.
You know, you're looking at some substantial differences in terms of what you're approving, that, you know, honestly, it's very difficult for me to accept in that regard.
What we're trying not to do is we're trying not to put Band-Aids on some of these projects. We're trying to literally finish them and have them be, you know, literally world-class facilities right here in Union County. So to do that, the best way we can is to have the same engineers and designers on the same project throughout the project.
Looking at the contracts, I have some of the same concerns that Freeholder Estrada has. But my biggest question, though, is when we originally looked at this, did we not see some of the stuff that, you know, that you're proposing adding on to these change orders prior to, so that we wouldn't be in this position right now?
I'll give an example of the stables. When that RFP originally went out, it was 2010. And I think the thought was, and obviously it's before me, but before my time here, but the thought was to just fix the flooring, the grounds on the ring, and decide what to do with the facility later on. Well, now it's 3-4 years later, and we've decided to invest in that facility to make it profitable and to generate revenue. So 3 years later, we're adding to the scope of the project because now we've decided to invest in it more and make it profitable instead of just fixing it for the time being until we decide what to do with it. In that case. In the case of the ice skating rink, it literally is, we designed and the scope of the work changed once we started to look into the facility a little bit more and realized that the foundation of the flooring was cracked. We found a leak that we didn't know about now. And with an investment of almost $800,000 for that chiller, it doesn't make sense to hook it up to something like that. And some of the things like the LEED certification, the asbestos, and the investigation of the condensation, those are all things that came about after we did our due diligence in the building on the engineering opinion to look at it further.
And some of the funding, though, is back to 2010.
All of the funding that is before you right now, it is capital money that is been already allocated for these projects. It is not new money.